Sorry, I look like hell. This is the real me with no filter. All right. Let's taste this.
We don't. Only that the dresses and the gloves are custom.
I'm going to have to agree with my son. This falls short of Philly cheesesteak casserole. I'm not tasting Philly cheesesteak. When I've done the bell peppers with ground beef and similar ingredients and provolone or mozzarella on top, it tastes like a Philly cheesesteak. However, this does taste delicious. It does not taste eggy, but I can tell there's egg in it. But it doesn't taste eggy because of put in the hot sauce and the heavy cream. So I would say this is more of a breakfast for dinner than anything. Not Philly cheesesteak. Falls short of the mark, but still, it is delicious. So I will be calling it... Ooh, it landed on my plate. I'll be calling it something else. But it's good. All right, come with me while I make a Philly cheesesteak casserole. We're gonna use 2 bell peppers, 1.5 pounds of ground beef, some Worcestershire sauce, a hot sauce of your choice. I'm using Cholula. We're gonna use about 1/4 cup of heavy whipping cream. We're gonna use half of a yellow onion. We're gonna use 4 eggs, provolone, 4 slices of provolone, some minced garlic. You can use clove garlic as well. The recipe that I saw doesn't call for mushrooms, but we're gonna go ahead and put some mushrooms in because I like with the Philly cheesesteak, I like mushrooms. And I'm gonna serve it over a head of cauliflower. You could make a garlic cauliflower rice. I am just going to steam and break it down and add a little seasoned salt to this and butter, and that is going to be what I'm going to serve my Philly cheesesteak casserole on. Let's get started. All right, I have peeled the bottom of the cauliflower off. I've got about 2.5 inches of water. We're just going to turn on high and check throughout with a fork. We're going to cook it till it's fork tender. I'm going to go ahead and put a top on it. Don't forget to go ahead and get your oven preheating to 350. I am going to just lightly season salt my meat, and that's it. Once this is almost done, we'll put in our 2 bell peppers and our onions. So while this is cooking, I'm gonna get started dicing that up. Awesome. I've got the 2 cans of mushrooms opened. I would prefer to use fresh, but this is what I get, so I'm using it. I got my 2 bell peppers cut up. I got my half an onion, and we are gonna just watch the cauliflower and the ground beef. All right, I am draining my meat. I'm gonna go ahead and smash and drain really well because I think this was a 73-37 or something like that. I'll be right back. Now that I have the meat back in the pan, I'm gonna go ahead and put in my mushrooms. Ooh, yeah, and the onion and bell pepper. Let's add some minced garlic. And I've got 4 teaspoons of that minced garlic. We'll stir this really good, but for real quick, let's go ahead and check our cauliflower. Nope, still not ready. Go ahead and cover it back and let that keep boiling. Turn the heat down. I'm gonna let this cook till the vegetables start getting a little soft. All right, this has been cooking for exactly 8 minutes on like a 4 on an electric range. It's perfect. They're nice and tender and soft, not over soft. Let's check our cauliflower. Yep, there we go. Just needs still a little hard in some spots. So I'm gonna let it cook a little bit longer. Before we put our beef crumble down, be sure you spray your pot. There we go. I'm gonna go ahead and pour all my beef crumble in here. All right, spread evenly. Just make sure it's mixed up nice and evenly. All right, we're gonna get the 4 provolone and tear into small pieces and put on top. All right, I've got the provolone torn into small pieces. Let's go ahead and make the heavy whipping cream and the egg and Worcestershire and Cholula mixture that we're going to just slightly put on top and let it settle in. 1 teaspoon of Worcestershire sauce in the 4 eggs. 1 teaspoon of your choice of hot sauce. I'm using Cholula. 1/4 cup of the heavy cream. We're going to whisk away. Okay. The recipe, when I saw it, I was doubting it. I was like, I don't know how that's gonna be, like as a Philly cheesesteak, but it says it doesn't taste eggy. I'm like, okay. It looks good, so, and look at that cheese melting beautifully already. All right, and we're going to lightly pour and just let it fall into the crevices. Try not to pour it all in one place. And it says to let it settle. So that is what I'm going to do. Is let it settle. I'm actually going to kind of, because it says to kind of get it to go in between the meat and everything. And yes, it did say to do the cheese first, because I was like, wouldn't you want to do that first? But there we go. Okay, I'll let that settle. Use this and just kind of poked at it. We're gonna let it bake for about 35 minutes or until the egg mixture sets. All right, I am going ahead and cutting off this, just that crown. But all the other broccoli I'm keeping. I'm gonna put it back in the pan. A little bit of seasoned salt and butter. We're set. All right, I added a little bit of butter instead of seasoned salt. I just added a little bit of total seasoning. It has a little bit of cilantro in it and mixed, and it's done. I'm just gonna put the top back on and, whoops, wait for the food to finish. All right, this is out of the oven. We're gonna let it set for 5 minutes before we slice it. We'll let you know. All right, my son has already eaten and giving me his, what he thinks. I'm gonna go ahead and taste test what is supposed to be a Philly cheesesteak casserole. And I'm gonna do some cauliflower on the side. All right.